Hey everybody, it's Jimmy V here. By the end of this video, you are going to know whether or not you as a veteran or active duty service member are eligible for your VA home loan. So let's get started. So here's the deal, guys. One of my common questions that I get from you, my YouTube viewership, is whether or not you are eligible for a VA loan. There's a lot of, misinformation out there. Maybe that's some of it, or maybe there's just a lack of information, which really is the purpose of this channel. That's my opportunity to give a shameless plug. If you find like you want to learn more about VA loans, one good idea to consider would be subscribing to this content in this channel. Good to go. All right, so let's talk about whether or not you are eligible for a VA loan. The first thing, I use that word intentionally, eligible. Why do I say eligible? There's a big difference between being eligible and pre-qualified for a VA loan. You can be eligible but not be pre-qualified, and you can be pre-qualified but not be eligible. Today, for the sake of this video, we're going to talk about being eligible. So how do you know whether or not you, as an active duty service member or veteran, are eligible? Well, simply stated, follow these guidelines. Good to go. The first thing is that you have to be honorably discharged from the military. Okay, you can't have any bad conduct discharges or big chicken dinners, as my first sergeant used to say before we'd go out on our libo briefings in Okinawa, Japan, right? But you can't have any bad conduct discharge. And typically for my active duty service members, you have to have served a minimum 90 days in order to utilize your VA home loan benefit. Now, the reality of this situation is very few active duty service members are going to be able to utilize a VA loan within serving in the military within 90 days, right? Because you got to go to boot camp, then you've got to go to your MOS school, and then finally you're going to go to the fleet. But for the sake of this video, 90 days active duty. Now, if you're a veteran, okay, if you're a veteran, you must have served at least 24 months of continuous service or 90 days of active service. Good to go. 24 months of continuous service, 90 days of active service. Now, Jimmy, what happens if I got out of the military and I was medically discharged? Can I get a VA loan? The answer is yes, you would be eligible for a VA loan if you were medically discharged and you have a VA service-connected disability. Now, there's a little bit more information here I think is important for our reservists to know about. You are a reservist. Okay? You must have served a minimum 6 years in the military in order to rate a VA loan. Now, there is an exception to this rule as well. The exception would be that if you've served 90 days of active duty service as a reservist, you too would be eligible for your VA home loan benefit, and you wouldn't necessarily have to wait a minimum 6 years. But not all the time is that the case that a reserve would serve 90 days of active duty. Good to go? So keep that in mind. 90 days active duty reserves or 6 years of continued service. So now that you know a little bit about eligibility requirements, remember veterans, you still have to get pre-qualified in order to do so. And to do that, there's 2 forms that you have to have. The first form is a copy of your certificate of eligibility. This is the form that states that you're eligible to use the VA loan. This form is provided by the Department of Veterans Affairs. Your mortgage lender, somebody like myself, can assist you with getting a copy, or you can go to your e-benefits portal and request a copy there. For my reservists, one more time, there's 2 forms, National Guard or Reserve. For if you're a National Guard, you're going to provide a copy of an NGB 22. NGB 22 is going to show your character of service, and if you are a reservist, you're going to provide a copy of your drill points summary statement to ensure that you have enough time in that is going to rate you a VA loan. Especially if you're a reservist, you want to get this looked at up front. So for all of your questions, VA home loans related, feel free to drop a like on the video and then also comment down below with your questions. I'm Jimmy Vercellino, and I'm always here to be a resource for you.